Hello, campers and RVers. Tonight I'm going to talk about the medical supplies or items that I always carry in my camper. The first thing is a first aid kit. I highly recommend getting yourself a first aid kit. You can pick these up at pretty much any drugstore, Walmart's, Kmart's, Five and Dimes, wherever you shop at, you can pick up a first aid kit. They come in very handy. I was RVing with a group. It was a rally that I was attending over the Halloween holiday, and we were walking around the campground in the evening, and we heard somebody kind of crying or something like that, and I turned on my flashlight and found this woman had fallen and was delusional, didn't know where her RV was or her camper, and needed assistance. She was profusely bleeding from her eye, and she had injured her head. So I ran down and was able to find somebody within our rally that was a physician, and came up and gave her first aid, and obviously had a first aid kit with her, and came out and ended up taking her to the hospital. And thankfully everything worked out, that she was okay. But you just never know when these things come in handy for yourself or for somebody else. So the other thing I want to tell you about these first aid kits is they actually have expiration dates, which is surprising to me. A nurse told me that one time at one of our RV rallies, that they do have expiration dates. So just make sure that you check that and replace it when it expires, because the stuff inside the BandAids may not work. They lose elasticity, I guess, and things like that. So that's the first thing that I would highly recommend, is getting yourself a first aid kit. The second thing is getting yourself some kind of cream, because being in the outdoors, your hands get dry, your body gets dry, and putting on a little bit of cream is very helpful, and keeps your skin moisturized, and keeps you from getting chapped hands and all that. So that's the second thing I highly recommend. The next thing I recommend is a box of BandAids. I mean, when you're out here RVing, you have all the stuff that you're doing, cuts and scrapes and stuff like that. A box of BandAids always comes in handy. So I'm always going through these, because you know, the type of stuff that I do my own work on my own RV, as I've showed you in previous videos. I make my own repairs, and when you're doing that kind of work, you cut yourself, unfortunately. So BandAids always come in handy, whether it's for you or somebody that you're RVing with or your neighbor. So I highly recommend a box of BandAids. After the lady had fallen, the story that I just told you, we had a class in with our RVing women group. They said what everybody needs to carry with them is a little, kind of like a little medicine bottle, and they gave these out to everybody, and it has a little lid, and you put inside of here, on a piece of paper, all of your personal information, such as your name, your phone number, your emergency contact information, and any type of medical or any type of medication that you might be on, and then close the lid and put it inside of your freezer, so that if emergency personnel show up, they can go. Apparently they know, I'm not sure how they know, but apparently that's one of the things they check, is your freezer, to check to see if you have any, personal information in there, so they know who to contact. Because we didn't know who to contact with the lady that had fallen, but I'm not sure how they found out that information, but they did, and we were able to contact somebody to come and help the lady out when we took her to the hospital. But this is great idea, and in case you have a medical emergency, they know where to find the information. And you could pick these things up, probably at your local dollar store or anywhere. But that's just a little bottle, or maybe you have something recyclable around your household that you can use. It's just a matter of keeping the information so that medical personnel can reach out to your emergency family member. The next thing I use almost on a daily basis, because I'm very active outdoors, is a set of tweezers to pull out splinters. I get a splinter almost every single day. I guess it's from chopping wood or moving wood or dealing with wood or anything like that, but being able to pull out splinters, or I work a lot or do a lot of hiking where I get thorns inside of you know, your legs or arms or whatever, and just being able to pull those thorns out, a set of tweezers is very helpful. So highly recommend. You can pick these up for fairly cheap as well. The next thing, which I find unbelievable, but I tried it last year and it worked super well, is this medication called Athletics Foot. And what I use this for is I have fingers that split because I'm always outside, you know, handling different things in all different climates. And my fingers split at the top, and it's incredibly painful. And unfortunately, this doesn't always resolve the problem. So what I do is I put a little bit of this on the edge and then rub it into the fingertips, and then go ahead and put some lotion on afterwards. And by morning, the splits that I have inside of my hands it's usually resolved. So I'm not sure why this works, but I heard it somewhere and I tried it and it worked wonders last year. So I always keep a tube of this with me for when I get finger splits. And the last and final item is my very favorite, and it dates back to the 1800s, and this is bag balm. If you've never heard of bag balm, it's just I would say one of the best products out there for resolving any kind of skin issues that you might have, or keeping your skin moisturized and things of that nature, along with this CeraVe, of course. But this bag balm, apparently it was used for animals, and they mixed it with Vaseline and something else, and I'm not sure exactly what they did, but it's been around since the 1800s, and whenever I put this stuff on pretty much anything, it's the issue is resolved the next day. So this is great stuff. It's fantastic if you get poison ivy, or maybe if you have, you know, run into poison oak when you're out hiking. But I highly recommend this bag balm. So those are just a few of the items that I keep with me at all times in my camper. I hope this information was helpful to you, and thanks so much for watching.